Okay, we're now looking at page 24 at number 73. Let's look at the first measure for the rhythm that we have for this line. We have a quarter note on beat 1, 2/8 notes on beat 2, a rest on the first half of 3, an 8th note on the second half, and 4/16 on beat 4. So we have 1, 2, and rest, and 4E and up. It would sound like this. Ready? Now, 1, 2, and rest, and 4E and up. So let's try that line together. This is line 73. 1, 2, 73. Now, 1, 2, and rest, and 4E and the 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 1, 2, and rest, 4E and the 1, 2, and rest, and 4E and the 1, 2, and rest, and 4E and the 1, 2, and 3. Rest. Okay, this is line 74. So let's look at the first measure here. In the first measure, we have 4/16 notes on beat 1, a quarter note on 2, 2/8 notes on 3, and on beat 4, we have an 8th rest with an 8th note on the up of 4. So we would count this 1E and a 2, 3 and 4 and, or 1E and a rest, 3 and rest and. And that first measure would sound like this. Ready? Now, 1E and a 2, 3 and 4 and. So let's do 74 together now. Ready? Here we go. All the way through 74. 1, 2, ready, begin. 1E and a 2, 3 and 4 and. 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 1E and a 2, 3 and 4. So keep backing that up and going over it. Try to alternate your sticking so that you start with the right stick one time, with the left stick the next. Okay, this is line 75. And in line 75, we have on beat 1, 2/8 notes. On beat 2, an 8th rest with an 8th note on and. On beat 3, 4/16 notes. And on the last beat, an 8th rest on 4 and an 8th note on and. So we count this 1 and 2 and 3E and a 4 and, or 1 and rest and 3E and a rest and. So it sounds like this. Ready? Now, 1 and 2 and 3E and a 4 and. So let's do line 75 together. Ready? Here we go. 1 and 2 and 75 now. 1 and 2 and 3E and a 4 and. 1 and 2 and 3E and a 4 and. 1 and 3E and a 4 and. 1 and 2 and 3E and a 4 and. 1 and 2 and 3E and a 4 and. 1 and 2 and 3E and a 4 and. 1 and 2 and 3E and a 4 and. 1 and 2 and 3E and a 4. All right, so keep backing that up and going over it until you've got it worked out completely. Try alternating your sticking. Start with the left stick one time, the right stick the next. This is line 76. In line 76, we look at the first measure. We have an 8th note on beat 1 with an 8th rest on beat 1 with an 8th note on and. 4/16 notes on the second beat. On the third beat, an 8th rest and an 8th note. On the fourth beat, 4/16 notes. So we count this rest and 2E and a rest and 4E and up. So let's try that. Listen to it first. Ready? And 1 and 2E and a 3 and 4E and up. So try that with me. Every measure is the same except the last one. So let's play this together while we count out loud. Ready? 1 and 2 and ready now. 1 and 2E and a 3 and 4E and a 1 and 2E and a 3 and 4E and a 1 and 2E and a 3 and 4E and a 1 and 2E and a 3 and 4E and a 1 2E and a 3 and 4E and a 1 and 2E and a 3 and 4E and a 1 and 2E and a 3 and 4E and a 1 and 2E and a 3 and 4. All right, keep going through that until you've got it completely worked out. Use a metronome to make sure you were keeping these 8th notes and 16th notes constant. Now that we've gone through 73 through 76, we're ready to work on solo 19. Most of the rhythms that you see in solo 19 came from 73 through 76. So let's look at the first line of this. I'll play this. You can count and finger along with me, and then we can go back and play it together. You just keep backing the video up. So follow along with me. 3 beats to the measure. 1, ready, now. 1, 2, and 3, E and a 1, E and a 2, and 3. 1 and 2, E and a 3. 1 E and a 2, E and a 3. So back that up and go over that as many times as you need to work that line out. Now let's look at the second line. In the second line, we've got a crescendo and a decrescendo. We get louder for 2 measures, we get softer for 2 measures. Remember before we talked about starting it closer to the rim for soft, pulling more to the center to get louder. So let's go over that second line, starting up close to the rim. 1 and 2 and ready, now. 1 and 2 and 3 E and a 4 and 1 and 2 E and a 1 and 2 and 3 E and a 1 and 2 and 3 and. So I pulled in toward the middle to get louder, went up toward the rim to get softer. So keep going over that. Get used to coming from the rim toward the center and back to keep your dynamics changing. All right, this is the third line of 19. So let's go over this together. I'll play through it. You can follow along and then back the recording up and play with me. Ready? Here we go. 1, 2, ready, now. 1 and 2 E and a 3 and 1 E and a 2 and 3 E and a 1 and 2 E and a 3 and 1 and 2 and 3 and. So if we count every 8th note there, it makes it much easier. Now we're ready to look at the last line. So let's go over line 4 together. This has the crescendo for 2 measures and the decrescendo for 2 measures. Start close to the rim, pull toward the center. Here we go. 4th line. 1, 2, 4th line. Now. 1, 2, and 3 E and a 1 E and a 2 and 3. 1 and 2 E and a 3. 1 E and a 2 E and a 3. So pulling in to get louder, pushing forward to get softer. Now keep going over these in segments and we'll be ready to go all the way through solo 19. So now let's go all the way through it together. Here we go. 1, 2, beginning now. 1, 2, and 3 E and a 1 E and a 2 and 3. 1 and 2 E and a 3. 1 E and a 2 E and a 3. 1 and 2 and 3 and a 1 and 2 and 3 and a 1 and 2 and 3 and a 1 and 2 and 3 and 2 E and a 1 and 1 E and a 1 and 2 E and a 2 E and a 3 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 1, 2 and 3 and a 1 E and a 2 and 3. 1 and 2 E and a 3. 1 E and a 2 E and a 3. So keep going over that until you've got it worked out completely. Get used to changing dynamics by coming in and out on the head.